Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue talking about verbs, and this time the focus is on the present tense. We're going to be talking about verbs, actions or state of being that are happening right now in the present time, or they could be something that has an effect. They have an effect on the present moment, and we'll get to that in a bit because that's slightly different than normal present tense. So the first category that we're going to talk about is simple present tense, or present simple as it's sometimes called, and this is just going to be the construction of the person or thing doing the action right now. So it's the person or thing and then the simple present tense verb. Example here, I write, you write, he, she, it writes. And you'll notice that the last one, the third person singular, he, she, or it, so single person, but it's in third person it's called, we add an S to the end, and to the end of the verb. And this is where the subject-verb agreement becomes tricky, because you have to make sure that if you're talking about the single third person, you add an S normally to the present tense verb. If it's plural, it's easier. Plural would be first person we write. Second person you write. Note that that's the same as singular. So singular second person is you. Plural second person is also you. You write could be one person you're talking about, or it could be you write, talking about a whole group of people. For example, if you're a camp counselor and you're talking to the kids in your cabin that you're in charge of, and you could say to all of them, you need to write to your parents today, but you're talking generally to all of them. And then third person plural is they write. Okay, the next category we're going to talk about is the present progressive, or present continuous, it's called. The way you construct this is you take the to be verb in the present tense, and then you add on the ing verb. This is the continuous or progressive form of a verb. So you take the verb and attach to it ing, shows that it's continuing to happen, or it's an ongoing process or ongoing event or ongoing thing that's taking place, ongoing action. I am writing, you are writing, he is writing. Those are the singular forms, and then you can see the plural forms underneath. The present perfect. Now this one is a bit different because it's actually, as I put in the brackets, it's actually dealing with something that has happened in the past, or it had started in the past and it's still ongoing now, or it started in the past and it's still true now, or it started in the past and it's part of your personal history or memory, something that you know of that's happened to you in the past. For example, you could say, I have visited New York City many times. Or when you move to a place, you could say, I have lived here for many years. That's also something that started in the past, but it's still ongoing now. The construction at the bottom says you use the auxiliary or helping verb have, or has, depending on if you're which person is doing it. For example, she has, or I have. Then you take the past participle of the verb, which is a very special form of the verb, and we're going to look at that in a minute. So here are some examples of sentences that use the present perfect. I have written many letters today. So it started in the past. It's still true. It's something that I did in the past, but it affects me today. I have written many letters today. I have written to the president of the We Love Wales Club. Okay, so this is something that is true about me, something that happened in the past that I'm confirming I did, and it's part of my personal history. She has written to Santa Claus. So something that had started in the past, it happened in the past, but it's still affecting us today. So she affecting that person today. So here are, this is a short list. It's not complete, but it's a list of some examples of special irregular past participles. So I'll ask you now, if you want to pause the video, you can take a screenshot or write these down. When you look at these, you will hopefully be able to take from each one in a way of looking back to what the actual verb is. For example, beaten, the third one in the list. I beat, right? I beat the drum. Okay, that would be just the normal present tense. I have beaten the drum many times. Okay, that would be the present perfect. Or for example, sung. I sing. You have sung the song to the children many times. Or you have sung the melody to me previously. Okay, so again, it's talking about something that took place in the past. You have stolen the biscuits. Or I have spoken to her. Or he has woken up. Okay, so something that started in the past and it's still affecting us now, or still true now, or it's part of our history. That's what these are all about. So the list is not complete. I'm sure if you can think of some other ones, you can add them in the comments. There are regular past participles as well that make this construction very simple. But the issue is, when you have a past participle, you have to memorize that list of irregular ones that I showed you first, because they are not as easy as these regular constructed ones. For example, walked, talked, opened, fired, locked, cried. I have walked down that path every day for the past 10 years. We have fired our clay pots in the kiln. Okay, so this construction is just the verb and you add ed, and it looks like the normal simple past tense, but in this case it's being used as a past participle. So just know the difference between the regular ones that look like the simple past tense and the ones I showed previously that completely change spelling, and those are the irregular ones you need to memorize for the past participles. Now we have another category called the present perfect continuous. Something is ongoing, okay, but it started in the past. So this is an interesting construction here. We have or has. We have the to be verb as a past participle, been. Okay, that is the past participle of the verb to be. And then you have an ing verb. This is the continuous or progressive verb. So here's my example, the first one. I have been writing to my pen pal for many years. Or we could say, we have been living in this area for 2 weeks. Or you have been swimming for 45 minutes. Okay, so again, it's something that started in the past, it's ongoing, but here the real focus is on the fact that it's in progression. Okay, it's this progression that we want to really kind of hone in on. Another example here, she has been writing a shopping list for the past 30 minutes. We're really focused on the activity being continuous and continuing to happen. That's what's going on here with the present perfect continuous. Well, that's all for today. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.